Hello guys, on today's lecture on Brilliant Mind Scholars, right, we're going to be dealing with addition and subtraction of complex numbers. How true. Now in the first video we said that complex numbers are represented by z, right? So suppose that z1 is given as 8 plus 6i, and z2 is given as 5 plus 4i. This is how complex numbers are represented, right? Now if you are told to find z1 plus z2, how do we go about this whole piece? It turns out that we can carry out this using our normal algebraic processes. Now we know that z1 is 8 plus 6i, and we are told to add that to z2, so that will be plus z2 now, being 5 plus 4i. So we simply collect like terms, right? So we know that this part of the number is called the real part, right? And this part is called the imaginary part, and this part is called the imaginary part. Also the same thing applies here and the same thing applies here. So we have that we are going to pair real numbers to real numbers. So 8 and 5 come together, 8 plus 5. We're going to pair imaginary numbers to imaginary numbers. So we have 6i plus 4i. How true. So 8 plus 5 gives us 13, plus 6i plus 4i gives us 10i. There you have it, guys. This would be our final answer. Note now, you cannot add a real number to an imaginary number, so you cannot add 13 to 10. Now here's a little trick that will help us arrive at the same answer, right? We were given z1 to be 8 plus 6i, right? And we're also given z2 to be 5 plus 4i. Now we can simply add this up, right, by simply putting a plus sign here and putting this here. We can add this up normally, right? So we have on this side 6 plus 4i gives us 10i, and on this side we have 8 plus 5 giving us 13. So this will give us 13 plus 10i. So we get the very same answer, right? So whichever method works best for you, you can use. Now, moving the page, suppose we are given z1 equal to 5 plus 8i, z1 equals to 5 plus 8i, and z2 equal to 11 minus 4i. If we are told to find z1 minus z2, so what we're going to have in this case will be this. We know that z1 is 5 plus 8i, 5 plus 8i, and we are told to subtract z2 from that, right? So z2 is 11 minus 4i. It's very important to include the brackets. Why is it important? Because of the negative sign, right? This negative sign would affect everything within the bracket. If you don't include the bracket, it would seem as though it would be affecting only this 11, right? So we have this will be equals to 5 plus 8i, 5 plus 8i. Now using this negative sign to open this bracket, minus times 11 gives us minus 11, and minus times minus 4i gives us plus 4i. How true. This is what we have in that case, right? So we collect like terms as usual. So we have 5 minus 11, right, and plus 8i plus 4i. So we put real numbers to real numbers and imaginary numbers to imaginary numbers. So this we have 5 minus 11 now gives us minus 6. 8 plus 4i gives us plus 12i. How true, very true. This is what we have in this case. Now, the same rule applies now. We can apply our previous trick in solving this question now, right? And we were given z1 to be 5 plus 8i, right? And we're giving z2 to be 11 minus 4i. So we can rule the line and we can do our subtraction, right? So we have minus. Now we have to be very careful here, right? Now what we have here now at the right hand side, now at my right hand side, we have 8i minus 4i. That's what we have. We have 8i minus 4i. So we have to be very careful with the negative sign now. So this gives us 8i plus 4i, right? And that will give us 12i plus 12i. Are you getting it now? Now here we have 5 minus 11, and that gives us minus 6. So in the aftermath, right, this is what we have in this form. So it turns out it's exactly the same as the previous case, right? And true, very true, very true. Now let's take one more question. Now moving the page down, we can take one more question now, and suppose we are giving z1 equal to minus 4i plus 3, z2 equal to 1 plus 2i, and z3 equal to 3 plus I, and we are told to find z3 minus z1 plus z3 minus z1 plus z2. How do we go about this piece, right? Moving the page, we have z3 now. Which of them is z3? This is our z3, right? Such that we're going to put that first. So that will be 3 plus I, and we are told to subtract z1 now. It says minus z1, minus, and now this is our z1, right? This is z1 minus 4i plus 3. That will be our z1, and we are told to add z2 plus 1 plus 2i, 1 plus 2i. Now someone might be wondering, why don't I include a bracket whenever I'm adding, right? Adding two different complex numbers. The addition sign doesn't really affect what is in the brackets, right? But the negative sign usually does. Now let's open up that bracket. So we have 3 plus I minus times minus 4 minus times minus 4i now gives us plus 4i. Minus times plus 3 gives us minus 3. And here we have plus 1 plus 2i, plus 1 plus 2i. How true. Now we collect like terms now, and we have 3 now. All the real numbers, we bring them together. We have minus 3 and we have plus 1, right? We have, for the imaginary numbers now, we have plus I, we have plus 4i, and we have plus 2i, So 3 minus 3 gives us 0. 0 plus 1 would give us 1. So we have 1. Now, for the imaginary numbers now, 1 plus 4i. Now, for the imaginary numbers now, I plus 4i gives us 5i. 5i plus 2i gives us 7i. So this right here would be our final answer. How true, how true. Here are some questions for you to play with. Now, solve these questions and leave the answer in the comment section. So here are your questions, right? So leave your answers in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.